Hello, welcome or welcome back. If you have made your way over here from this video, then you are already familiar with the ideal pricing strategy to make sure that you never undercharge again. But some people just do not feel that this is an option for them, that they can apply this strategy at the moment. It may be that your activity won't allow it or your particular market that won't tolerate it. But a lot of people are very dismissive of you and they say, oh, just raise your prices, it'll be fine. Well, sometimes it's fine, but sometimes that is just not the right solution for you. And that's why we did this video. But before we jump into it, if you haven't been here before, my name is Lisa. I trained and worked in French accounting before I realized that I could provide a lot more value to my clients as an independent consultant, which is what I do now. But this channel exists so that we can address all of your most common questions around French business structure, tax regimes, social charges, and more. But today's video is about pricing. So let's imagine that despite rising costs, you just do not feel that any upward price movement is possible for you at the moment. If this is your situation, then I would invite you to ask yourself just one question. Is there a healthy demand for your product or service? First of all, let's define a healthy demand. I define it as being in work full-time, sometimes maybe having a waiting list for your clients. Now, the answer to this question can only go one of two ways, right? It's either a yes or a no. Can't really be anything else. So let's imagine for a moment that it's a no. Usually this is down to one of two factors, and I'm going to be the first person to say that this is not territory that I usually cover, but I have seen both of these things very often, so I feel comfortable talking about them. Now, the first possibility is that you have a fantastic product or service. Your clients are always super happy with you. It's actually pitched at the perfect price level. The only problem is you don't have enough clients at the moment. If this is you, then you will want to think about increasing your visibility and really targeting your market and delivering the message to your target market that you want them to remember about you. If you don't know how to do that, which is perfectly normal unless you're a professional marketer, you will want to hire somebody who does know how to do it. And if this is the only thing that is standing in between you doubling or tripling your income, this is not an unnecessary expense. This is an investment that's going to come back to you multiple times over. And the only question that you'll have is, why on earth did I not do this earlier? However, even the best marketing strategist in the world is not going to help you if you have this problem of product market fit, which is quite a cute expression that I picked up the other day when I was watching this short video, which I'm also going to link in the description because it was super interesting. So it's Mark Randolph, who was the former CEO, co-founder of Netflix. He was talking, amongst other things, about all of the changes that he had to make to Netflix at the beginning to get it to work, because at the beginning nobody wanted anything to do with it. It wasn't working at all. And he was talking about all of the different ideas and all of the adjustments that he had to make to get that thing to fly. And so if this is you, you might want to have a think about how you can either broaden your market or narrow down your market. Maybe that you need to specialize in something. So a really simple example would be something like translation. If you say, I'm going to set up as a translator and I'm just going to do like general correspondence, well, everybody just runs that through AI now, right? Nobody pays for it anymore. But if you can specialize, if you can do legal or medical or technical translation, then you have a smaller market, but it's a market that is still prepared to pay something of a premium. So it's just a simple example, but you know your industry. What changes would you have to make your product or service more desirable, more widely desirable, or just simply different enough, going to allow you to put your prices up? Now, if you genuinely enjoy what you do, then doing that kind of work, that kind of research and that kind of experimentation is something that you will embrace with energy and enthusiasm. But if that all sounds like way too much hard work for you and you just can't really be bothered doing it, then my next question for you and it's a bit more philosophical than I usually get in these videos, but I think it's worth asking, is do you still really genuinely enjoy what you do? Because we've all got a few years left to work, right? And if you're not enjoying it that much, so now is the time where you might want to think about changing direction. And remember to be kind with yourself about this, right? There's no shame in losing passion for one thing. It's just an opportunity to find a passion for another thing, and that's fine. And life's too short to make ourselves miserable. Okay, getting back to territory that I do usually cover. If your answer to this question was yes, you are working full time, you do invoice enough, your actual turnover is considerable, but for some reason you're still finding yourself either at the end of the month or at certain points during the year with not as much money as you think you ought to have, and I speak to a lot of clients in this situation, then the first thing you want to ask yourself is, have I optimized all of my systems? So lots of questions for you people. Can you renegotiate any of your costs, your materials, utilities, subscriptions, insurances? Can you get the cost down on any of those things? Can you get through your jobs any quicker without sacrificing quality, obviously? But if you could work a few extra hours and do a job in 2 days instead of 3, then that's going to allow you to get invoices out more quickly. Are you on top of your credit control? Do you follow up your invoicing as soon as it starts to get a little bit overdue? Because if you let overdue payments linger, then that's going to give you an irregular cash flow, and nobody wants that. If you work from home, are you blocking your time as effectively as possible? This is something that I've been guilty of, that I didn't want to feel rushed with my clients, so I would leave too much time in between appointments. And then I would sometimes finish up with like 45 minutes, an hour in between appointments where I could see another client in that time. I'm going to imagine that you don't have any extravagant expenses in your personal life, right? If you're a compulsive shopper, then you know why you don't have enough money at the end of the month. Are you leaving enough money aside to pay for your social charges when URSSAF comes calling? I go on and on about social charges, I know, but it's because it's the biggest destroyer of cash flow for entrepreneurs that I have come across. So if you still don't understand how or when URSSAF are going to calculate your social charges, then again, you might want to watch this video, which will explain it for you. And if you can tick all of the boxes that I've just mentioned and all the others as well, if you can say, yes, I'm doing that as efficiently, as productively as possible, then that means that there can be only one other problem, and it's that you're in the wrong business structure for you, for your activity. If you cannot deduct your expenses, and they're considerable, if you're finding yourself paying too much tax, if you're finding yourself surprised by social charges, then it may quite well be that you are in the wrong business structure for you, for your activity. And if that's the case, then you are very welcome to get in touch with me. I would love to help you with that. Or you can start off by watching some of these videos, which will help to point you in the right direction. And if this has been helpful, then I'd love it if you subscribed, and I'll see you again soon.